very good news to tell all of you. My daughter Corina is getting married very soon to her boyfriend Vicente, so give them a round of applause.
When is the wedding? Have you set the date?
Yes. Yes, we're already getting married this week.
Thanks to that, you'll marry someone else. But no one will love you like I do.
Won't let him control me. I'm not going to sentence myself to living a lie. I won't do it.
Las Bandidas.
On KBC Channel 1, we are a TV station like no other. Get a taste of the best in entertainment.
Yes, indeed.
Feel the passion.
Will you promise me?
I swear that you will never lose me. I can't get married to you.
I'm sure you knew about it. That's why you're making fun of me.
Experience the drama.
Get out.
Who is the man in this one?
And the laughter. Move to the beat.
We are live from Broadcasting House.
And get informed on the latest happenings. KBC Channel 1.
Wow. Yeah!
We are the full package.
Oh, yes.
And Kenya's watching.
Thank you very much for joining us.
It is indeed the 11th day of June 2024. Good afternoon and welcome to KBC Lunchtime News. Just 2 days to the budget presentation day. We have a comprehensive bulletin lined up here for you. Not forgetting an interactive segment on the business segment. We'll be looking at making sure that the digital technology assists us in reduction of taxes and also in more production in the country. My name is Njue. Anwangeshi is my colleague who will be handling this news via a sign language interpretation. Now straight to the news. We begin our live news coverage all the way from Malawi, where the search for a military plane that was carrying Malawi's Vice President Saulos Chilima and 9 others is underway as Malawi President Lazarus Chakwera calls for nationwide prayers. The aircraft was reported missing on Monday morning after failing to land at the Mzuzu International Airport as expected. And according to a statement from the office of the Malawi president, the plane left the capital, Lilongwe, on Monday at 9:17 a.m. and was supposed to land at Mzuzu International Airport in the country's north just after 10:02 a.m. The vice president was traveling to Mzuzu to represent the government at the burial of former cabinet minister Raf Kasambara, who died a few days ago. Definitely keeping tabs on that report, but moving on, human rights activists under the umbrella of Defenders Coalition drawn from the eastern region are calling on the government to ensure that every Kenyan seeks legal redress gets justice. The activists who met in Machakos County said that their activities are sometimes derailed by bottlenecks in the judicial system. They cited corruption as one of the reasons making it difficult for many Kenyans to get justice in the country.
don't only just speak for people, but also speak for ourselves and our community. We have had also cases of human rights defenders like ourselves and myself being threatened because of the work we do. And recently we have seen it also through the floods that also we have seen in the country, and also the forceful eviction that we have seen in the country, and specifically also here in Machakos County.
We also have some challenges where some of the judicial officers are making it difficult for, are becoming inaccessible, and making it difficult for people to get the justice there.
From Machakos to Kilifi, where members of the county assembly, the MCAs, have adjourned house business until one of their own who was arrested following a land conflict that resulted in the death of a resident is released. The county leaders, led by Ganze Ward MCA Karisa Ngilani and his Mariakani Ward counterpart Martha Koki, said that their Shimolatewa colleague was arrested by police last Friday, and efforts to have him released have been futile.
March 2023 at Mtwapa area, Kilifi County, a land repossession exercise led by Kilifi County officials and those from the National Museums of Kenya turned ugly after goons clashed with the officers, leaving one person dead. In the wake of the clashes, Shimolatewa MCA Haron Tete was arrested, with Kilifi County Criminal Investigation Officer David Siele confirming that Tete would be charged with manslaughter for the death of the victim.
Ndo tunataka tukutane na wakili, tujue actually hiyo mata ni mata gani, ndo tutaelezewa zaidi, ndo tutajua the way forward na ukweli uko wapi. Lakini kwa sasa hatuwezi kucomment.
Kilifi County MCAs, in protest of the arrest, vowed to paralyze county assembly services while accusing private developers of using security agencies to harass area leaders.
Tumefunga bunge letu ili kwenda kuunga mkono na kuwa na mwenzetu ambaye sasa hivi amekuwa korokoroni pale Shimolatewa kutaka kujua ni nini kinachoendelea.
According to the MCAs, the 8th acre piece of land in contention belongs to the National Museums of Kenya and was grabbed by the purported owner of the land, Salim Awanth.
Walivunja ukuta mara ya kwanza na wakasimamisha ukuta mara ya pili. Nikaripoti hiyo kesi police station. Wakaitwa, wakaulizwa, wa declare interest. Waseme plot ni yao ama ni ya mtu, wanatetea mtu. Hawasemi. Sasa hii wakija kuvunja ukuta wanakuja na interest gani? Wa declare interest. Mimi niko na title.
Reacting to the conflict, NMK officials and Kilifi Governor Gideon Mungaro warned of more demolitions, saying that grabbing of public land was derailing the government's development agenda.
Because if somebody comes and says he's just bought this land, you can see it's a forest and he only bought it 2 years ago. It's just ridiculous.
Hayamaanishi shamba ambayo ni ya umma kwa sababu ilikuwa haina hati miliki, lakini katika rahamani inaonyesha ni shamba ya umma, kwamba wewe mtu binafsi unaweza kwenda kuichukua kwa sababu uko na pesa.
Joseph Ohungo reporting for Lunchtime.
And still in Kilifi, a section of politicians from the county have maintained their strong stance against the sale and consumption of Muguka, committing to eradicate the drug menace within the county. During the launch of Majaoni Secondary Multipurpose Hall, Kilifi North Member of Parliament Owen Baya said the leaders will not be deterred by court orders challenging the ban of Muguka. At the same time, Gender Cabinet Secretary Aisha Jumwa, speaking separately, said that the goal of nurturing a sober and healthy generation is being undermined by the widespread use of Muguka.
Sema hii Kilifi haitauzwa tena Muguka. Hii Kilifi. They can obtain as many court orders as they want, but they cannot force us to eat Muguka. They will not do that, and it will not happen as long as I'm a leader here. That will never happen.
Kama lazima utuuzie, ni lazima utuuzie, kwa sababu you want to make money. Na sisi hapa Kilifi County, we want a sober and health generation.
And away from the Muguka debate, farmers in Garissa are calling on the national and county governments to find permanent solutions to the perennial floods menace. The irate farmers who staged demos in Garissa town are still counting losses after River Tana broke its banks and submerged most of their produce. And according to them, their losses are amounting to millions in crop and equipment.
The farmers practicing farming along River Tana in the four sub-counties of Garissa, Balambala, Bura and Masalani took to the streets demanding action from both levels of government. the bone of contention in the aftermath of the floods that destroyed their crops and led to losses of equipment.
Hata kuleta mbegu peke yake hakuna. Na hatuwezi tukarudi mashamba mpaka tupate mashini. Utarudi shamba huna mashini, utaweka vipi maji? Mpaka tupewe mashini ya kupampa ile maji. Mashini zote zimeenda.
Hawajapata mapato kutoka shamba mwezi 8. Anza mwezi wa 11 mwaka jana. Sasa tuko mwezi wa 6 mwaka huu. Hawajapata kitu yoyote.
Among the solutions they are suggesting is building of megadams and drilling canals from River Tana as well as expansion of the river.
Some people make walls on the rivers. Some people dig the river deeper so that it doesn't overflow. Some people divert it to some areas.
The farmers regretted that even though water levels have subsided, the top fertile soil has been washed away and a lot of money is required to prepare the farms for the planting season again. Yusufar reporting for Lunchtime News.
Shifting gears to politics now, where National Assembly Minority Leader Opiyo Wandayi has accused a section of the Kenya Kwanza leaders of using the internal wrangles within the United Democratic Alliance to incite Kenyans against each other. Echoing Wandayi's sentiments, Mbere North lawmaker Geoffrey Ruko called on President William Ruto to crack the whip on government officials he said were making statements that could divide the country.
As perceived wrangles continue to rock the ruling party UDA, National Assembly Minority Leader Opiyo Wandayi is calling on the warring factions to keep Kenyans out of their feuds.
Unatumia vita ndani ya UDA kuanza kudharau Wakenya wengine ambao sio wanauda. Kila Mkenya ako na haki ya kupata maendeleo.
Speaking in Ugunja, Siaya County, Wandayi said all regions are entitled to equal distribution of resources.
The people of Kakamega, the people of Bungoma, just like the people of Migori, the people of Siaya, and the people of Nyeri are taxpayers. And therefore, they are entitled to development just like any other person in this country.
Mbere North MP Geoffrey Ruku, who echoed Wandayi's sentiments, called on President William Ruto to crack the whip on individuals in the government he said were making inflammatory remarks.
If there is difference within the government of our nation, that difference must be resolved as quickly as possible. And if the President of the Republic of Kenya feels that he needs to crack whip, and that whip can go in any direction, Mr. President, you have the authority, according to the Constitution of Kenya, to crack the whip and to crack it firmly.
Speaking at Kanywambora in Mbere North, Ruku said politics of division will affect service delivery.
Matamshi kutoka viongozi wa Kenya, yale ambayo inaweza leta mgawanyiko wa kikabila katika nchi yetu ya Kenya, sisi kama wabunge hatuyataki. Katika nchi yetu ya Kenya tuko na rais mmoja.
Giverson Maina, Lunchtime News.
From politics to education, where Nyanza Regional Director for Technical Vocational Education and Training, John Wamai, has urged TVET students to engage in dual training, allocating 50% of their time to school-based learning and the other 50% to industry-based training. Speaking at a TVET Open Day at Mawego National Polytechnic in Homa Bay County, Wamai said this approach would equip students with practical, hands-on experience alongside their academic studies. The principal, Dr. John Abuto, said focus on market-relevant skills would enhance employability of TVET graduates.
We are reviewing the definition of industry so that we can have an opportunity of growing up even the micro and small industry, so that at least our students can benefit from what is happening across the country, and together we can grow our country into an industrialized country as expected by the Vision 2030.
Our aim is to ensure that the youths of this country get the skill that can make them to survive in the labor market.
We want to make use of this equipment. We want to partner with them, and also we are inviting other potential investors. This is a good area that we can invest together and change the livelihoods of our community.
And the Ministry of East Africa Community Arid and Semi-Arid Lands and Regional Development has urged politicians not to politicize the government's effort to distribute relief food to flood victims in the country. This and more stories making headlines in our county news roundup.
Saidiana na tutahakikisha haki imemfikia mwenye kuadhiriwa.
In Kajiado County, Attorney General Justin Muturi, accompanied by Environment Cabinet Secretary Soipan Tuya, among others, led a tree planting exercise at the designated land under the office of the Attorney General in Konabaridi, Ngong.
The 15 billion tree plan is to green our country, to restore our degraded ecosystems.
Elsewhere, Murang'a County government has collected 1 billion shillings in revenue following an automated system of revenue collection in the county, which is a big boost for the county in terms of development projects and service delivery.
Automation has helped because now each and every person who is paying, they don't pay in cash. They pay through M-Pesa, so that has helped to make sure that we seal all those loopholes and remove the temptation of people pocketing the money.
Meanwhile, Machakos Governor Wavinya Ndeti witnessed the swearing-in of a 13-member ad hoc committee that will look into the possibility of elevating 4 major towns into municipalities.
The 4 municipalities will play a crucial role in opening opportunities, ensuring good engagement with residents, and bringing services closer to the people.
And learning institutions have been urged to build a strong reading culture among learners to sharpen their understanding of the English language. The call was made during the annual English contest involving 27 public secondary schools held at Mary Hill Girls High School in Thika, Kiambu County.
The boys and girls are going to benefit a lot, not just in the KCSE, but also they will acquire and expand their life skills.
For Lunchtime News, I'm Christine Matunda.
Very well, and that report by Christine takes us to our first break, but when we come back we still have more news, and after that we'll be having an interactive segment where we'll be looking at how to lower taxes, and especially now in the wake of just 2 days to the budget statement reading day, we'll be looking at how we can use technology to lower taxes and also produce and also export more. I'll be engaging the director of Robi Search, an ICT company. His name is Robert Manyala. That's a little bit later. Let's have that breakfast.
Una malimbikizi ya ushuru? Mamlaka ya utozaji ushuru nchini KRA inakupa msamaha wa adhabu na riba ya ushuru kufikia tarehe 31 Disemba 2022 kupitia Tax Amnesty Program. Ili kujua jinsi ya kupata msamaha, jiunge nasi kwenye maonyesho ya barabarani kote nchini ukiletewa na KRA kwa ushirikiano na KBC. Pia tutakuelekeza jinsi ya kujaza fomu za ushuru na kujisajili kwa eTims, mfumo mpya unaokusaidia kutoa risiti za kidijitali kwa njia rahisi. Ijumaa tarehe 14 Juni, msafara wetu utaingia kaunti ya Uasin Gishu katika maeneo ya Cheptiret, Langas, 64 Stadium, Chepkoilel Junction, Juakali na Eldoret Town. Kisha Jumamosi tarehe 15 Juni, tutatembelea kaunti ya Trans Nzoia, maeneo ya Soi, Nangili, Matunda, Moisbridge, Kitale, Cherangani, Endebess, Kiminini, Kwanza na Saboti. KRA, tulipe ushuru, tujitegemee.
Kikohozi cha muda wowote, kutokwa na jasho kwa wingi usiku, uchungu kwenye kifua, afya kudhoofika, tafuta matibabu. Labda ni TB ni ugonjwa wa kweli. Ukipimwa matibabu yapo utapona. Daktari kushauri tumia dawa kwa Tukomeshane tupige vita TB. Mwa TB, TB waishi poa.
Welcome back and many thanks for keeping it KBC Lunchtime News. In other news, Isiolo County government has been lauded for utilizing donations from non-governmental organizations which has spurred economic and social growth in the county. Speaking during an assessment of the ongoing projects courtesy of collaboration Feed the Future Kenya Livestock Market System LMS and the county government of Isiolo, the Senior Director in charge of Resilience and Growth for ACDI/VOCA, Michael Thayer, noted that it was exciting to learn of the transformative impacts of projects and programs rolled out in the county in the months ago.
It was observed that the progress is a good indicator and the objective of the partnership had been met.
It's exciting to hear about where you all are going and where you're going to take all the interventions that LMS has worked with you on.
The Senior Director in charge of Resilience and Growth for ACDI, VOCA, Michael Thayer, expressing commitment to continue working with the government through other USAID-funded projects upon the completion of the projects that are underway.
There are other USAID investments that will continue, but it also sounds like from the capacity building that you've talked about, the initiatives that the county is taking, you all are looking to move forward in ways that are independent of that future collaboration.
The Chief of Party for Feed the Future Kenya Market Livestock Systems, Joe Sanders, also hailed the collaboration as the basis for major success in transforming lives in the region that is predominantly pastoralist.
Experience and the successes that we've had together as LMS. I think that Isiolo County has proven itself to be a model for good development and good donor coordination over the past number of years.
On its part, the Isiolo County leadership attributed major success of projects to collaboration between the locals and development partners.
One of the biggest causes or means of of success is because us planning and working together through a model called joint work plan. So none of our partners, inclusive of LMS, works alone.
And in business, over 160,000 raw milk suppliers across the country are set to benefit from a 218 million shillings cash reward payout for the supply of milk. Brookside Dairy General Manager for Milk Procurement, Emmanuel Kabaki, says the company is rewarding farmers for meeting agreed milk supply both in quantity and quality standards. He says the amount will benefit dairy groups and individual farmers across the country who signed up for the program and have been supplying raw milk to Brookside in the 6-month period between the 1st of December 2023 to 31st of May this year. The half-year payout under a reward scheme operated by the farm represent a 53.5% increase over the last year's payout. Brookside Dairy started the farmer reward scheme 6 years ago, the payout appreciating over the years as processors' base of contracted farmers continue to expand. Local miners now. Story. Artisanal miners have been urged to join in cooperatives to make it easier to access support. The spouse of Deputy President Pastor Dorcas Rigathi has led the certification of mining cooperatives in Migori County. Speaking at the Osiri Mining and Marketing Cooperative Society office grounds in Nyatike, Pastor Dorcas said the accreditation of the miners is one way of ensuring that the miners benefit from their day-to-day activities. She also called on the miners to help in eradicating of cases of child labor in the sector.
Let us all have a syllabus in our vocational centers to equip and skill with knowledge those who are in this sector so that everybody can be included and they can use the right aid and techniques in being able to mine.
We would wish to see even the regulatory frameworks to be designed in a manner that attracts as many investors as possible, so that going forward we see a sector that is legal and also working in with the government towards achieving the aspirations.
We are giving opportunity to the artisanals to be formalized so that they can tap and get the benefit from the national government. Right now, the few cooperatives that have been formalized here, they have an opportunity to get their mining permit.
And Nairobi property developers have committed to comply with laid out regulations in the building code. Property Developers Welfare Society Secretary General Abdi Dahir says its members will stick to the approved plans provided by the City County of Nairobi in a move to enhance quality assurance in the key sector of construction. Dahir emphasized the importance of a collaborative approach in regulatory adherence, reinforcing the association's dedication to foster a conducive environment for development.
Buildings that have been built beyond the heights that are provided for in law, we will work with the Nairobi City County to make sure that all developers keep to the standards that we have agreed.
We are in line with the building rules and regulations, full adherence to that. Our fear is that those ones which have approvals have gotten so by following the rules and regulations. So our fear or concern is that those who have been granted approvals or those who have followed or those who have fully adhered to the rules and regulations of buildings should not be affected.
We call for stakeholders meeting from both county and national government in order to prevent any misinterpretation or confusion among stakeholders.
Elsewhere, Nyeri County government is scouting for market for leather products made at Leather Goods Production Unit at Rukira Vocational Training Center. And even though the center has the capacity to make 900 pairs of shoes daily, it is currently producing about 300 pairs daily due to challenges marketing the leather products. Here's our reporter Frederick Moki with the details.
Nyeri Town, a town renowned for its picturesque landscapes and rich cultural heritage. Yet beyond its green hills and coffee plantations lies a success story that is reshaping the lives of residents. The rise of a local leather production unit at Rukira Vocational Training Center that is a beacon of empowerment and economic transformation. In the heart of Nyeri County, Rukira is experiencing economic renaissance driven by the unlikely resource leather.
Now we have already marked.
The genesis of it all dates back to 2022 when the county government of Nyeri established a small leather production unit.
Rukira was a concept that was, it wasn't originally to be Rukira. It was actually a cottage industry around leather, because we realized that leather is a product that mostly is sold raw at a very cheap price, and the owners of the animals basically don't get much from that. So the county government of Nyeri came up with a concept. Why don't we start a cottage industry around leather? First of all, we train the people to run that industry, because you know you must have experienced manpower. Then after that, as these graduates keep on increasing, then you also establish a hub within another center where what they produce there, they can also now go and produce on their own after graduation, and the training school also continues to produce, and then we establish somewhere in an urban center where they can come and sell those industries.
The target was to create value-added livestock products.
The main raw material that we use here is leather. To be specific, we have leather that is known as upper cow smooth, and we source them from the local tanneries. For example, around here we have Sagana tanneries, we have Redmark in Nairobi, and we have others in Dhaka.
The leather unit has fostered a sense of community and collaboration.
We are in the process of getting them a space in Nyeri town where they can sell their products. We are having a conversation with the Kenya Scout Association whereby we can be producing for them their leather products. You know, they have a lot of belts they require. They have other pieces of leather that they wear during their celebrations. So Rukira is a potential cottage industry that has the potential to grow into a big industry. And it can be able to capture a lot of young people. It can be able to bring a lot of income to the farmers who keep the livestock and they sell their leather.
Local artisans often come together to share ideas, techniques, and market insights, creating a vibrant ecosystem of creativity and cooperation.
I've gained many skills, making shoes, saddles, and very many leather goods. Future plans, I want to start my own leather company. Yeah, produce my own shoes and other goods.
Naprania pia nifugue kazi kama hii, nikuwe nikitengeneza viatu, nikuwe nikipelekea watu hivyo, na pia nikuwe na industry yangu.
The hum of sewing machines and the scent of tanned leather are not just signs of industry, they are symbols of hope, resilience, and economic empowerment for all.
As we celebrate this craftsmanship and resilience, industry players in the sector are calling for support and championship of the transformative power of the cottage industry in transforming lives.
Thank you, Frederick Moki, for that informative piece. And on that note, we're also taking a quick break. But when we come back, as I had mentioned earlier, we'll be having an interactive segment with the director of Robi Search Limited, Robert Manyala, in regards to using technology to lower taxes, produce more, and even export more. That discussion in a bit.
Nilikutengenezea kitu.
From different worlds, come a trio with a shared destiny.
Nikulinde na ikuongoze.
Where will the fashion runway take them?
Mimi nitachunga maua yetu vizuri sana hadi wewe narudi.
Family business is everything.
The beauty and the beats. Shanga, Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. on Maisha Magic Plus.
On KBC Channel 1, we are a TV station like no other. Get a taste of the best in entertainment.
Yes, indeed.
Feel the passion.
Will you promise me?
I swear that you will never lose me. I can't get married to you.
I'm sure you knew about it. That's why you're making fun of me.
Experience the drama.
Get out.
Who's the money? This one.
And the laughter.
Hii wigi umevaa kichwani.
Sisi wakati tulikuwa tunaapishwa tunapewa mheshimiwa.
Move to the beat.
We are live from Broadcasting House.
And get informed on the latest happenings. KBC Channel 1.
Wow. Yeah!
We are the full package.
Oh, yes.
And Kenya's watching.
Thank you very much for joining us.
time to tilt the lens and focus on matters tech and taxes. And I had mentioned earlier, we have the director of Robi Search Technologies Limited, Robert Manyala. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
Straight to the question. How is the tax regime as we are in terms of how now we have, over the years, we have digitized everything and technology is changing very fast?
Thank you so much. I'm Robert Manyala from Robi Search Limited, an ICT company. Now, thank you so much. I can say in Kenya, for the last maybe 20 years, there's been upward trajectory in terms of taxes on the same. And that's why we are here today to demystify and even to make it easier and even to provide the alternatives to still achieve what might be required to help us still get the taxes that are required. Yes, because they say if any case you want to go somewhere, there are several ways of going there, so long as you are open and ready to embrace them.
And what are the main benefits of incorporating technology in taxes, both for the taxpayer, me and you, and also for the tax authorities, KRA?
Thank you so much. Just the same way that there's a specific budget set every year, there are various ways that we can use technology to achieve the same target. Just for example, assume maybe we are looking at 4 trillion this year, for example. How else can we use technology to ensure that I still pay the same amount I used to pay, but still achieve the same? I want to give you an example. We can use technology to produce more, and therefore we can get the money that we ought to have gotten somewhere else through technology. Let me give you an example. Assume today, maybe at the end of the day, for example, bread will bring us maybe tax worth 1 million. So we can ask ourselves, what else can we do to get us 1 million without taxing bread by use of technology? We can produce more by giving people more machines, like in agriculture. If any case you're producing 5 tons of maize, what can we do to you so that you can be able to produce 20 tons and still get the money that you have or to have gotten somewhere else? That is one way we can use technology. Also, we can use technology to ensure we reduce the possible losses. If, for example, a company needs to make 10 million, so that they can be able to produce maybe 30% turnover on the same. So what can we do to ensure that this person reach their 10 million? Because if they indeed pay 30% of 10 million, the person will be able to help us meet the target that we need without increasing the possible taxes. So we can use technology to do things faster, easier, more efficiently, and reduce the possible losses. Then again, many people do things manually. So when you do things manually, that's why we have so many companies dying within 3 years from their start. So how can we use technology so that we have now more company to tax? Maybe instead of increasing, now instead of 10 people being taxed, then we can have 50 people being taxed the same amount. So we call them reducing tax burden by use of technology. So those are some of the examples. But again, also, even in places where we have people producing, we have people who are producing very good stuff, but nobody's there to buy their stuff. So we have even a lot of production dying somewhere, getting destroyed somewhere, nyanya, a lot of it somewhere. But there's no technology that can connect the buyer and the seller. If this person could produce more tomatoes, produce more maize, produce even more items, it means more employment. People still paying the same taxes, but now we have tax burden reduced because many people are doing the same. They say if you want to get 10 bob, from 10 people, there are 2 options. One person can give you 10 bob, or each person can give you 1 bob each to reach 10 people. So my encouragement, or maybe our request is that can we use the opposite way, where one person don't produce 10 bob, but 10 people can produce one bob each. Through this, we will even have many people willing to give, because it's now 1 bob, not 10 bob.
Oh, we increase the tax bracket.
Yes.
Now, how has technology influenced taxpayers' compliance and reduced instances of tax evasion? We have seen this, not only in Kenya, but in most developing countries. There's tax evasion.
That's true. What happened actually for people, there are many people that have used technology. Like now we have ATMs, where they're saying, if any case I've sent something, I've purchased something, I can go to ATMs, download the purchase that you have done to me, then we have input and output. The challenge that we have been having without technology, so somebody could just be paying output only, but there's some input, meaning if any case I sell something unto you, maybe worth 10 bob, and I've sold it at maybe 20 bob, there's tax that is incurred when I buy it, and there's tax that it incurred when I sell it. So when I subtract this, I'll be able to reduce the tax. But because we are not using technology, sometimes I just buy my thing Kenyeji, so you realize I pay more because I don't have much input. So technology has made it easier that if any case you are using technology, you can be able to know who produced what, and you can be able to pay less.
And it's a good thing that you've mentioned e-Teams, that is the Electronic Tax Information Management System. And a number of Kenyans were quite reluctant, and especially when we were told about school fees being paid via e-Teams. If you're talking about the digital revolutionizing and changing everything, why do you think a lot of Kenyans are a little bit cagey when it comes to taxes, and especially electronic taxes?
Oh, thank you so much. The reason why that problem is available, first, is if any case you don't explain to people further the benefit, then the benefit that they know is the only one that they think by themselves. So I will also encourage government to even also tell people maybe the advantage or the benefit of going that way. How it will help me to reduce the taxes the way I've been doing before. Because maybe if any case we use e-Teams, for example, it will be much easier for somebody not to pay much. But how? That is what need to come out. And because people do not know the full information, we have not done enough advertisement on the same, so people fear, because they say whoever speaks first is the one who has the knowledge. So if it could be good that more people can be educated much on the benefit of going this way, then we will have more people coming on board.
What are some of the challenges of this, and how do you overcome them? Because as you have seen in the last story, we have they are producing about 300 shoes in Nyeri. And 300 shoes, they have a capacity of 900. Kenya is more of a buying country than an exporting country. How do we change this as we wrap up?
Thank you so much. I believe that when we use technology, two things. We can increase the production. And even today, we can even encourage that if any case government could buy more equipment for people who are starting up, they can produce more. We can employ more people. And therefore, we might have many people paying the taxes, and we'll still reach our target. Also, another suggestion on still getting this, I would recommend that if government can even come up with various incubation or centers. We have so many ideas in Kenya that if any case we produce today, and if any case they're supported enough, then we'll have multi-billions kind of company that even only few company will be able to raise this tax that we need. So investing in more innovations, because Kenya is more innovative. Then again, I will also advise that if any case government can come up with a strategy where we can even have, we have so many students who are very bright in Kenya. There are various ways on how else can we get the money. Because of technology, most people are really having ideas, but they don't know how to reach government. Like today, or currently, people are being giving their opinion, but there are people who are disadvantaged because they cannot come to Nairobi so that their opinion can be listened to. That's why we are saying we can use technology or app where I'm back there at home, maybe Nairobi, Kisumu, Mombasa, I can give my opinion, and where the president sits, he'll be able to see the result. What are people saying downtown? What are people saying? What idea can we have so that it is not only one way? They say if any case you don't embrace more other ways, you might not know what it looked like.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we are out of time. That has been Robert Manyala, who is the director of Robi Search Limited, an ICT company, talking about tech and taxes. An interesting conversation, and we are about to compound it further. Remember, we are only 2 days to the budget reading day that will be read in Parliament on Thursday. More on this in our subsequent bulletin and subsequent discussions as well. But away from that, let's focus on other news where there is need to embed nutritional consideration into agricultural practices to ensure that food grown is sustainable. IFAD Regional Director Sarah Mbago Bunu says good nutrition is a cornerstone of economic growth and human capital development, where well-nourished individuals are more productive. Take a look.
We intend to actually scale up so that we also capture issues on what we need, what the agriculture people are doing, but also to integrate our health education in the agriculture programs, because agriculture also has programs that are educative.
Linking agriculture and health in what we are calling a food pharmacy, so that people can be treated from their non-communicable diseases using indigenous foods that are available, grown agroecologically, using the policy that we have formulated in Murang'a County.
It's not only about making those foods available on the market. We also need to educate the population about the importance of consuming these foods. And I know that some people say, well, I will only eat a fruit if I'm sick, but this is completely wrong. You should actually be actively looking to feed yourself properly. And so we also invest quite a lot on the behavioral communication side of things and educate communities, rural communities, remote areas about the importance of having a diversified diet.
Time to now shift focus and focus on matters sports, where the national soccer team Harambee Stars is looking forward to upset the reigning African champions Ivory Coast when they face off this afternoon at 4 p.m. in the FIFA World Cup qualifying match at the Bingu National Stadium in Malawi. Something interesting is that the match will be televised live right here on KBC Channel 1 and affiliate radio stations as well.
It is a highly anticipated match as Kenya hopes to be the first team to beat Ivory Coast and end the reigning champions' unbeaten record in the FIFA World Cup qualifying campaign. Kenya could not get past Burundi, who held them to a 1-1 draw on Friday, to only add a point to their tally after 3 matches.
They have the equaliser. It's the substitutes.
Ivory Coast maintained their perfect start with another win against Gabon to maintain the lead in Group F with 9 points. Gabon are second in the group, 3 points adrift, as Kenya and Burundi follow with 4 points each. Meanwhile, the junior starlets were hosted to a reception by Sports Cabinet Secretary Babuna Mwamba following their win against Burundi in the first leg final round of the FIFA Under-17 Women World Cup.
To win the second edition of the